Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, as you could tell by the title and the thumbnail, I wanted to discuss something that I found rather interesting in the tier list here on MasterDuelMeta.com. Now, MasterDuelMeta.com doesn't have all of the information available to us, but it is a great idea for just how the meta is going with the top decks, with the tier list. It shows you just kind of everything that you need to know at a quick glance. It's not going to give you in-depth analysis of everything going on in the Master Duel sphere, but it's a great resource for quick glances. And what I noticed was that Tri-Brigade seems to have disappeared, not just from the tier list, but even if we go over to top decks, there is one list right here for Lyrilisc Tri-Brigade. There are no other people who are currently playing Tri-Brigade. And why is this? It was one of the best decks of the previous format. I would say probably the best deck, with Zodiac Tri-Brigade still being absolutely incredible. You could also argue Sword Soul Tenyi, just due to the fact that it was more popular, was probably the best deck of the format, and to that, I could agree. I just think the Zodiac Tri-Brigade had more consistency, higher highs, stuff like that, against, or at least compared to the Sword Soul stuff. But it's all of a sudden gone. There weren't any nerfs to it. The meta didn't change too much. Sword Soul Tenyi is, according to this, still the best deck, though that could be argued differently, especially looking at the top decks. We could see that Sword Soul Tenyi is kind of over here. It's not really the most played, and, you know, there's that. But what happened to Tri-Brigade? There's only one list here. At least with Sword Soul Tenyi, people are still playing it. They're playing the Adventure Tenyi package. So, I just kind of wanted to discuss this. Now, I think there are two factors for this change as to why Zodiac, or just Tri-Brigade in general, has kind of disappeared. The first factor is where most of the players for this game come from. So in Master Duel, while it is centered more so around an OCG type ban list, most of the players come from the TCG. They have played the TCG or Duel Links, but, you know, most of them have known the TCG if they've played the game, the standard game. They come from the TCG, right? And in the TCG, a lot of the top players played against and played Tri-Brigade. Prior to Master Duel coming out, when Master Duel came out, it was still top tier, and even up until this point in the TCG, it is still a top tier strategy that can top and win YCSs and stuff like that. Not nearly as played, because again, a lot of the newer decks are played more often, but Tri-Brigade is still there. While they did get the biggest hit in the TCG, it's still a at least competitive deck in the TCG. So the fact that it has been around for so long means that a lot of these TCG players aren't really willing to continue playing it, since they played it in Master Duel, they played it in the TCG, they've still been playing it. There's a reason to stop kind of playing the deck. That, you know, you can move away from the deck. You want to try other things, especially when it comes to just like playing in these tournaments for fun, playing in, you know, climbing the ladder. You're going to play a different deck because you've already played Tri-Brigade, or like you don't want to, yada yada. There's a lot of reasons for TCG players in particular to not really play that deck anymore, right? And again, when that's where most of the players are going to be coming from, it does make sense as to why it has decreased in its number. Now, the second reason is the fact that Tri-Brigade, if we look at this Tri-Brigade list, there's one player who played Tri-Brigade. They won a tournament with it as well. First place, Tri-Brigade Lyrilisc. Nothing has changed. The nerfs hurt, sure. Yeah, having 2 Fractal, having 2 Cobalt Sparrow. But they can still win tournaments, right? This was a smaller tournament, but still, they won. But the thing is that with Tri-Brigade, you're not really able to play a lot of the new cards. With Tri-Brigade Lyrilisc, you can't really play DPE. You just need more space in the extra deck, as well as in the main deck, you kind of need to be as consistent as you can. And more specifically, with the adventure stuff, you kind of need your normal summon oftentimes, just in case you need to go like normal summon Nerval, banish some cards. Yes, technically you can play Tri-Brigade Adventure, and you can play, you know, Tri-Brigade DPE Adventure, and stuff like that. But you also can't do the Halka-Fibrax stuff. So it's not as interesting for players because they don't get to play the adventure stuff. They don't get to play the new top tier strategies. Now, all of these kind of culminate together to basically make it so that no one really wants to play any Tri-Brigade stuff. Now, if we look at Tri-Brigade, obviously Flunder is going to be playing Ferrigit in a couple of their decks. I genuinely don't know what card... What card is... Oh, what? Okay. For some reason, Prank Kid is playing Ferrigit as well. Don't know why that's the case. But, yeah. Most of these decks aren't actually playing any Tri-Brigade cards besides the Lyrilisk Tri-Brigade. So, I just kind of wanted to come on here and be like, this tier 1 deck all of a sudden just overnight disappeared. And I don't think it's because the meta's terrible for it, or it's been power crept out of relevancy, or anything like that. It's more so just the players aren't wanting to play that deck. And I don't blame them. It's been around for a while. It's understandable. And it's no longer the top deck. I would say it's not the best deck anymore. I think Adventure Prank Kid is the best deck. And on the ladder, it's Flunder, 100%. So it makes sense as to why Tri-Brigade has disappeared. But yeah, that's all I kind of wanted to come on here and say. Tri-Brigade is one of my favorite decks. Genuinely, I still enjoy playing it to this day. Even in this meta, it's still very fun. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.